Good morning and Merry Christmas. We wanted to do something that would tie us all together on this Christmas morning. You may be with family, you may be with friends, you may be alone, but wherever we are in our different places, we wanted to think about the same thing for just a little bit together. This morning, we're giving gifts. It's historically what people do. And the gifts under our tree have somebody's name on it. We've been thinking about people. We thought about each person and what they loved, what they wanted, what they needed, and we gave them a gift, and they're opening a gift with their name on it. And we're not the greatest gift givers. The idea of gift giving comes from God Himself. He's the greatest gift giver of all. And He thought of us when He gave us gifts. We've been studying at Church Project the last several weeks more deeply than usual, even the idea of the Incarnation, that deity would step into humanity, that God would become a human being and take on human flesh and blood and live here among us like us. There's no other story like it. And as we've been looking at the book of Hebrews the last couple of weeks, Hebrews chapter 1 and chapter 2, one of the verses said, it wasn't that God was helping angels. He was helping Abraham's descendants. He was helping really flesh and blood, real people. God was actually thinking about us. He was thinking about you, metaphorically, like He had your name on the gift that He was giving us. Just like we're practicing this morning among family and friends, Jesus was thinking about you and thinking about me when He gave the gift of Himself for us. And the reason that He gave us a gift, we see this through Hebrews, but really it's the story of the whole Bible, that He was giving Himself for us. It says in Hebrews chapter 1 that He was doing it to provide purification for our sins. It says in chapter 2 that He was setting us free from the power of sin and the power of death and even the power of fear of death so that we can fully live. Everything that God has ever done for us is for our good. This morning, we're going to allow you a few minutes. Maybe you're alone, maybe you're with people in a room, and we're going to have a screensaver. We're going to have some music playing, I think probably even a fire in the background, but we're just going to be silent so that you can speak and just talk about this idea for 2 or 3 minutes. Feel free to pause it if you want to take longer time together, but spend a few minutes talking about this idea that God gave us Jesus, and He didn't do it for some just spiritual idea, but down in the flesh with me and you. He thought of you. He had your name on His gift when He sent His Son for us. He was thinking about us, about purifying us from our sin and saving us from the power of sin in our life and setting us free even from fear so that we could live fully. So take a couple of minutes and discuss this idea with yourself or with other people. Think about this, that God was thinking about you. He had your name in His mind, on His heart. He loves you, and He sent His Son to set us free from sin, to purify us, to give us full life together. Spend a few minutes talking about this. Hebrews chapter 2 gets really deep into the idea of the incarnation. And this is what it says, that Jesus was made fully human, that he was like us in every way. Jesus was God in the flesh, is God in the flesh. He took on flesh. He was born, but he didn't begin. He is the eternal, uncreated God, but he took on human flesh. He became like us. It says that he was fully human in every way. All of our joys. He enjoyed a good sunset. He enjoyed a good meal, good music, good art, good friends. All the things that we enjoy, creation, walking about in nature that he created himself. He enjoyed everything we enjoy. And all the pain that we go through, he went through that too. The loss of loved ones, rejection, loneliness, even poverty. He suffered all the things that humans suffer, because we suffer too. All the joys that we know, Jesus knows. All the suffering that we've endured, Jesus has suffered. And it says here in Hebrews chapter 2, we've looked at these the last couple of weeks, that he did this so that he could be a merciful priest for us, that he could understand and sympathize with our weaknesses. Maybe this year you are reflecting upon a lot of joy. Maybe it's been a great year for you. Maybe with your job, maybe with family and friends, maybe with love in this world. Maybe you've been able to give good things to people, or people have done good things for you. Maybe you're reflecting on a lot of joy, and maybe you're reflecting on a lot of pain and a lot of loss. Maybe you've lost loved ones. Maybe you're lonely and you didn't expect to be. Maybe it's been a hard year for you with your health or your finances. Jesus actually is someone who can sympathize with us. He took on human flesh. He was made fully human in every way. The beauty of the incarnation is that we don't have a distant God who's unconcerned, who's uncaring, who's unsympathetic, but we have a fully present God who's lived here. He's seen what we see. He's heard what we hear. He's smelled what we smell and tasted what we tasted, and he's lived the life that we've lived. He was without sin, but he endured all the suffering that we have and all the joy that we enjoy. He experienced that too. Why don't you spend the next couple of minutes praying about this humanity that Jesus did? He experienced what we do. Maybe you need to spend a few minutes knowing that Jesus cares about you and your suffering. Maybe you've experienced loss this year, and you can just pray and say, Jesus, thank you for experiencing loss like I do. Maybe you've experienced a lot of joy, and you can spend a few minutes thanking Jesus for all the good that he's given you, because he's enjoyed that in his own life too. And maybe for you, you would spend a few minutes praying for other people that you know that have gone through loss, or thanking God for what he's done in other people's lives. Spend a few minutes, take as long as you need, and we'll be back and we'll finish this up. Thanks for joining together. I know that you could be doing a lot of different things this morning, but you spent some time doing this. That's great. I hope it was encouraging for you alone or with your family or with your friends. If you're not involved in a local church somewhere, I'd love for you to be involved in Church Project. There are some beautiful people who gather together really simply, just trying to get back to this original idea that Jesus intended when he himself created the church. So we'd love for you to be involved in Church Project here in the Woodlands or wherever you're located. Hopefully there's a Church Project close to you, or maybe we're planting one soon. You can find all about Church Project at our website, churchproject.org. One of the beautiful things about Church Project is our generosity. We live really simply for the sake of generosity. This is one of our mottos because we practice this, and I love what we do when we give together. At Church Project, we are one body and we give together, and we do big things when we give together. This next year, 2024, there's some opportunities for us to do some incredible things, from the clinic that we're starting to plant, churches that we're planting, to all the ministries that we support. We're doing that together, and we can only do that when we give. So I hope that if this is your church, maybe it's your church online right now before you can get connected to other people. Maybe you've been in this church for a while and you haven't been giving. I would encourage you to give. And if you can give more, your money, your giving is going to be used for gospel things and for good things. We give to the gospel. It reminds us that it's the most important thing in the world, the story of salvation through the grace of Jesus in our life. We give together because it reminds us that we're one small part of something much bigger. And we give first out of our first fruits, as the Bible teaches us, because it reminds us that Jesus is first in our lives. So I hope that you'll be giving. You'll find a link here to do that. If you're in the Woodlands, we'll be gathering just one gathering on New Year's Eve. This next Sunday, we'll have one gathering at 10 a.m., and then we'll resume regular times the following week. So we'd love to see you in person. It's so important that we get together in a room with other people, sing songs, make these confessions together, worship the Lord together, sit under the teaching of the Word together, be a part of something beyond ourselves. So I hope you'll get engaged in a local church wherever you are. Merry Christmas to you. Happy New Year. I hope you have a good day. See you soon.